Imagine walking through life with a hidden superpower, the ability to manipulate and control the minds around you. Sounds like a plot from a movie, right? But it's real, and it's called dark psychology. Now, before we dive deep into the abyss, let's first shed some light on what we're dealing with. Dark psychology, despite its ominous name, is not an official branch of psychology. Yet, it's a term that's been coined to describe a controversial field that explores the use of psychological principles with malicious intent. It's like taking the tools of psychology and using them not to help, but to harm. Imagine someone twisting your thoughts, manipulating your emotions, controlling your actions, all for their own benefit. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? This is what dark psychology is all about. It's about manipulation, control, and coercion, often to the point where the person being targeted feels their freedom and power slipping away. But how does this happen? How can someone infiltrate your mind and bend your will to their own? That's where the dark techniques come into play. From deceptive commitment in dating scenarios to manipulative corporate messaging, these techniques are designed to exploit the vulnerabilities in our minds, to turn our own thoughts and feelings against us. Now, it's important to remember that dark psychology isn't about mind control. It's not about turning people into puppets or zombies. It's subtler than that. It's about psychological manipulation, about making people do what you want, not through force, but through influence. It's about pulling the strings behind the scenes, guiding people's actions without them even realizing it. Dark psychology isn't about mind control, but rather psychological manipulation. It's a dark, hidden superpower wielded by many. And as we delve deeper into this shadowy realm, you'll learn not just how to recognize these techniques, but also how to protect yourself from them. So stay tuned, because knowledge is power, and in this case, it could be your best defense. Now let's delve into the art of dark manipulation. This arena of psychology is not for the faint of heart, but understanding it is the first step towards safeguarding yourself. First up, we have manipulative negotiation techniques. This is more than just haggling over prices at a flea market. It's a calculated strategy to get the upper hand, whether it's in a business deal, a political agreement, or even in your personal relationships. The manipulator may use tactics such as playing the victim, creating a sense of urgency, or making false promises to sway your decision. Next, there's the guilt trip, a classic in the manipulation toolbox. Ever had someone make you feel guilty for not doing what they want? That's a guilt trip in action. It's a form of emotional manipulation used to control and influence others by making them feel bad about their actions, decisions, or feelings. Finally, let's talk about social scalping. This technique is all about exploiting the social dynamics within a group to gain control or influence. It could involve spreading rumors to create discord, playing favorites to sow seeds of jealousy, or manipulating the group's norms to isolate a particular individual. These techniques are powerful, and they're often used subtly, making them hard to spot. But don't worry, you're not alone in this. We're all susceptible to these manipulations because, at the end of the day, we're social creatures with emotions and vulnerabilities. However, forewarned is forearmed. By understanding what these techniques look like, we can start to recognize them in action, and that's the first step to protecting ourselves. Remember, knowledge is power, and understanding these techniques can help protect you. Deceptive commitment and chameleon manipulation. These sound like fancy words, right? But they are techniques used in everyday life. Let's break it down. Deceptive commitment often plays out in dating scenarios. Here's how it works. Someone might show an exaggerated level of commitment early on, showering their partner with affection, promises, and grand gestures. The goal? To make the other person feel secure and invested in the relationship. Once that person is hooked, the manipulator might start to pull away, creating a power dynamic where they hold the reins. Imagine this. You meet someone who seems to be everything you've ever wanted. They're attentive, they're interested in your life, and they make grand promises about your future together. You start to think this could be the real deal. But then, out of the blue, they become distant. They cancel plans, they're less responsive to your messages, and all those grand promises, they seem to have forgotten them. That's deceptive commitment in action. And then there's chameleon manipulation. This technique involves someone adapting their personality, interests, and behaviors to match those of the person they're trying to manipulate. It's like they're a chameleon, changing their colors to blend in with their surroundings. They mirror your likes, dislikes, and even your values to make you believe that you've found your perfect match, your soulmate. You feel understood, seen, and connected to them. Picture this. You meet someone who seems to have the same taste in music, the same hobbies, even the same quirky love for pineapple on pizza. It feels like you've met your mirror image, but over time, you start to notice inconsistencies. They slip up and reveal a dislike for that band they claim to love, or show ignorance about a hobby they supposedly shared with you. That's chameleon manipulation. Understanding these techniques is the first step to guard against them. Ever felt like you're being manipulated in a group or a corporate setting? Well, you're not alone. Dark psychology is often at play in these environments, subtly shaping the dynamics and steering the narrative. Let's delve into how this unfolds. In group settings, one common technique is the creation of an external enemy. This isn't about a literal enemy, but a perceived threat that unifies the group. It could be a rival company, a challenging project, or even an abstract concept like change. The fear and uncertainty associated with this enemy foster a sense of unity and loyalty within the group. The manipulator leverages this fear for control, positioning themselves as the group's protector against the external enemy. In corporations, dark psychology can manifest in the form of manipulative messaging. This might involve painting a rosy picture of a challenging situation, or spinning facts to put the company in a positive light. The aim? To control the narrative and shape employees' perceptions. The corporation becomes the puppeteer, subtly pulling the strings of its workforce. Another technique used in both group and corporate settings is the suppression of dissent. Here, any disagreement or criticism is swiftly shut down, often under the guise of maintaining harmony or focusing on the bigger picture. This creates an environment where only one voice, usually that of the leader or the majority, is heard. It's a silent way of establishing dominance and maintaining control. But don't be disheartened. Knowledge is power, and understanding these tactics is the first step towards countering them. Start observing the dynamics around you. Listen to the unsaid as much as the said. Question the narrative. And most importantly, trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. Recognizing these tactics can help you navigate through the power games. And remember, you're not alone in this. We're all in this together, learning, growing, and hopefully, making our workplaces a little less about power games and a little more about genuine collaboration and respect. Dark leadership traits. These are not qualities of a villain in a movie, but real-life strategies used by manipulative leaders. It's an unfortunate truth, but in the business world, some leaders employ these tactics to gain control and manipulate their teams. Let's delve into this. Dark leadership traits often involve the misuse of influence and power, exploiting the trust and dependence of their teams. These leaders may utilize emotional manipulation, making their employees feel guilty or indebted to them. They create a sense of obligation that can be used to control actions and decisions. Another tactic is the suppression of dissent. In an environment where open communication and constructive criticism are stifled, employees can feel pressured to conform to the leader's views. This can lead to a culture of fear and silence, where innovative ideas and potential issues are never brought to light. Furthermore, some leaders amplify problems to create an external enemy. By blaming issues on external factors or other teams, they can unite their own team against a common enemy. This can lead to a strong group cohesion, but it's a false unity built on shifting blame and avoiding accountability. Now you may be thinking, how can these leaders maintain their positions with such tactics? Well, they are often charismatic, projecting confidence and competence. They may also be very good at their jobs, at least on the surface. But underneath, they are using these dark leadership traits to manipulate and control. Recognizing these traits is crucial. It allows you to understand the dynamics at play and protect yourself and your team. It's about fostering a culture of openness and mutual respect. Stand up against manipulative tactics, promote open communication, and always question decisions that seem to benefit only the leader. Remember, leadership is about inspiring and enabling others to achieve their potential, not about control and manipulation. Being aware of these traits can help you protect yourself and your team. Now that you're aware of these techniques, how can you avoid them? Well, let's dive right in. First and foremost, knowledge is your best defense. Becoming familiar with the techniques used in dark psychology can help you identify when they are being employed. When you can spot manipulation or coercion, you're more likely to resist it. So continue educating yourself, just like you're doing right now. Secondly, strengthen your emotional intelligence. This involves being aware of your own feelings, and also being capable of recognizing the emotions of others. A heightened emotional intelligence can help you discern when someone is trying to manipulate your emotions for their own gain. Third, maintain healthy boundaries. While it's important to be open and trusting, it's equally vital to know where to draw the line. Don't let anyone guilt you into crossing your personal boundaries. Stand your ground and respect your own limits. Next, seek diverse perspectives. If you're only hearing one side of the story, especially if it's from a potential manipulator, you're at risk. Broaden your horizons. Consult with trusted friends, family or professionals who can provide different viewpoints and help you see the bigger picture. Finally, practice assertiveness. Being assertive is about expressing your thoughts and feelings openly, while still respecting the rights and beliefs of others. It's a powerful tool against manipulation, as it helps you to stand up for yourself in a respectful, confident manner. In summary, to combat dark psychology techniques, arm yourself with knowledge, boost your emotional intelligence, establish firm boundaries, seek varied perspectives, and be assertive. Remember, knowledge is power. Stay informed, stay aware, and protect yourself from the dark side of psychology. We've covered a lot of ground today, from understanding the dark side of psychology to identifying manipulative tactics and learning how to avoid them. But what's next? How can you apply this knowledge in your everyday life? You see, awareness is the first step, but action is equally important. Start by applying these strategies one at a time in small, manageable steps. For instance, you could begin by working on your emotional intelligence, perhaps by practicing mindfulness or journaling your emotions. Then you might decide to work on maintaining healthy boundaries, starting with saying no when you feel uncomfortable or pressured. Remember, it's okay to take your time. Change doesn't happen overnight. Also, consider sharing this knowledge with others. By educating your friends and family about dark psychology, not only will you help protect them, but you'd also be creating a supportive network of individuals who can help each other identify and resist manipulative tactics. Lastly, don't be afraid to seek professional help if you feel overwhelmed or unsure. Therapists and counselors can provide valuable guidance and support. Remember, knowledge is power, but taking action makes the real difference. Stay informed, stay aware, and take steps to protect yourself and your loved ones from the dark side of psychology. Thank you for watching this video on dark psychology. If you found this information useful, please subscribe to my channel for more insightful content. Stay informed, stay aware, and remember, knowledge is power.